favorite whole grain to use in my kitchen is quinoa. Actually, quinoa isn't so much as a whole grain as it is a seed, but it gets classified into the grain category just because it's a little bit simpler to put it into there. But it's actually a seed. It's an ancient seed from Peru. So what's so amazing about quinoa is that not only is it super high in protein, calcium, and iron, is that it's really, really easy to make, really easy to use, and it's extremely versatile. So it kind of looks like couscous. They're tiny, tiny little balls, and they can be added into so many recipes once it's cooked. So all it takes is a cup to make about 3 cups of cooked quinoa, and again, that can be added to so many things. So the first step to making quinoa is rinsing it. So it needs to go into a colander, and then it needs to be rinsed. So I'm going to take you over to the sink and give it a good rinse. Make it a little bit easier to digest and make sure that it's also really clean. So now that my quinoa is all rinsed and ready to go, I'm going to put it into a pot, dry. Seems a little counteractive, but this is a really good technique to make it the perfect quinoa. So, put it in the pot. I'm going to turn on the heat to a medium heat. And then just move my quinoa around for about 1 to 2 minutes, just until some of the excess residual water dries off and until it smells a little bit nutty. So what I'm doing is I'm essentially toasting my quinoa a little bit. So when I add the water to it and I cook it, my quinoa is going to turn into a really nice peel-off consistency, which means that the grains of quinoa are going to be individual pieces as opposed to a big, mushy porridge consistency, which is fine if you're making porridge, but if you're making a side dish or a main dish, you want it to be more like a peel-off. So I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. It doesn't need all that long to dry out. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of water to the pot. Turn up the heat, back up to a medium to high heat. Throw in a pinch of sea salt. Let that come up to a boil. Put the lid on. So once that comes up to a boil, I'm going to turn it down and let it steam for about 12 minutes on a very low temperature, and then my quinoa will be ready. Quinoa is done, the 12 minutes are up, and I let it steam for another 2 minutes. So we've got a nice, light, fluffy quinoa that has absorbed all the water, and this is the exact consistency that I was looking for. So now the quinoa can be transferred into a bowl. Just to let it cool, a little bit of steam's gonna come off. Then we have quinoa that can be used for so many things. It can be topped with a little bit of olive oil and some vinegar for a wonderful salad. You can put tomato sauce or some Asian condiments on it for a savory side dish, or I can put some rice milk and raisins on it and have it for breakfast. So it's so extremely versatile in so many recipes. You can leave it plain in your fridge for a couple of days and just have it, find a different way to use it every single day. So I'm going to let that cool and be very excited to enjoy it later on for dinner.